Appalachia beliefs passed down through generations to protect, to guide, and sometimes to terrify. These aren't just stories, they're rules. Make sure to subscribe and let's take a look.
So you want to visit Appalachia, huh? There are some rules that you need to know. And I grew up in Appalachia. I was born and raised in Mount Katahdin, which is the end or the beginning of the Appalachian Trail, depending on how you look at it. Then I moved to the middle of nowhere, Pennsylvania, and my family's heritage farm. It's in the middle of nowhere, Pennsylvania, in the middle of Appalachia. So let me tell you some safety rules to keep yourself and your family safe, and explain why these rules are the way they are. So you don't wind up like me and meeting something that you don't want to meet, and playing a fun little game of chicken for your life. Number 1, never, ever be out in the woods from dusk until dawn. I'm talking ever, okay? Lots of things are active then, and you don't want to meet any of them, okay? If you're a hunter, you shouldn't be out before dawn, and you should be back in your truck by dusk. I'm a hunter, I know. Don't whistle or sing in those woods. High-pitched noises travel further than normal speech. You don't want anything in those woods knowing your exact location. Now, you can talk at a normal volume to alert other things that, hey, there's a person here. Don't be freaked out. I will have full-on conversations with myself to, like bears know that, like, hey, there's a person here. Don't freak out. Be aware. Skedaddle on. Don't whistle or sing. Don't do that. It's like wave a little banner that says, hi, come find me. I'm right here. We don't do that, okay? Okay. Another thing we don't do is we don't go off our marked trails. Great safety lesson right there in general. But stay on your trail. Don't wander off. Appalachia has real dense woods and really thick underbrush in some places. Don't wander. Don't meander. You don't know what's out there. You don't know what's watching you. Just don't straggle. Don't be dumb. We're trying to be the last person standing in this horror movie, okay? Final thing. Don't look in the trees, okay? You can look at the trees. Don't look in them. Look up at the canopy. Go bird watching. Find the finches. See if you can find the raven that's been screaming at you, warning you to get the frick out of there. Don't look in the trees, man. Because you don't know what's going to be looking back at you. Especially from like 8 foot down. Don't be looking. Don't do it. Don't do what I did. Because you're going to find something looking at you. And it's not going to be fun. If you hear something saying your name, no, you didn't. The closer it sounds to you, the further away it is. And the further it sounds from you, the closer it is. So if it sounds like it's further away, it's closer. It's terrifying. It's fast. And it wants you dead. So don't piss it off. Respect the rules. Respect Appalachia. We're cool folk. Been here a long time. Don't die. Don't go missing. And don't trespass on people's property, please.
Grew up in the Appalachian Mountains, and I still live here. Growing up, we were told a certain set of rules that had been passed down throughout generations and generations over hundreds of years to help keep you safe when you're out in the mountains. There were a lot of people confused in the comments asking if I could explain what I was talking about, so I'm going to go ahead and tell y'all about the rules again. I'm going to go over a few of the more basic rules and warnings, but I do have to warn you that they get a little weird. Number 1, close your curtains and blinds at night. Number 2, if you see something weird, no you didn't. If you hear something weird, no you didn't. Number 3, if you hear somebody calling your name from the woods and you know that that person is not in the woods with you at that time, you heard nothing. You know what I'm saying? You didn't hear. Number 4, don't whistle. And the same thing goes for if you hear somebody whistling, no you didn't. 5, never go out in the woods alone, especially after dark. Number 6, if you're out in the woods and everything falls silent, like all the wildlife, the bugs and the birds, and the wind stops blowing, if everything just suddenly gets still, that's a good sign that you should probably turn around and make your way back wherever you came from, or if you're heading to like a campsite or something, get there as quick as possible. Number 7, don't run. And that one really puts y'all in a tizzy, but for real, don't run. If you're being chased by something, don't run. Always ask why, so I'm going to go ahead and tell you. Running initiates the predator versus prey instinct, and then it just becomes a game for them at that point. They're just rules that have been passed down throughout hundreds of years over generations and generations in my family to help keep you safe when you're out in the woods alone. You might not believe me now, but come spend a night alone in the woods in the Appalachian Mountains and see if you change your mind. The energy shift from daylight to dark is crazy. If you know, you know.
When you live in the Appalachian Mountains and you grow up there, that's all you know. I grew up in the Appalachian Mountains, lived there for the first 21 years of my life, and the stories that you hear about these ancient mountains are true. So I've got some spooky facts for you about the Appalachian Mountains that you'll probably be interested in. Did you know that the Appalachian Mountains are older than the rings of Saturn? There's also an average of 6 people that go missing every year in the Appalachian Mountains. Their bodies are never recovered and no one knows where they go. To this day, there are around 2,000 missing persons cases in the Appalachian Mountains that have yet to be solved. The Appalachia region also has tons of underground caves and tunnel systems. So who knows what really happened to these people or where they really are. But if you've grown up there or lived there for any amount of time, then you've heard the rules, you know the rules, and you should follow the rules. It would be the same as if you grew up in a big city and you were told not to go play in the busy street. You don't go play in the mountains alone.
This one comes from No Sleep, and it is titled Do Not Visit Rural Appalachia. For starters, this is off the record. I wasn't here. I will give a fake name, I will give fake locations, and if anyone tries to contact me, I will do what I have to do to protect my family. This is a warning, nothing more. Do not travel to rural Appalachia. My name is Hoover. I'm a former sheriff's deputy. I'm 29 years old and I'm already retired with a full pension. It's hush money, really. I'm putting my family and livelihood at risk by posting this, but I can't stomach the thought of some city slicker going to those mountains and it happening to them as well. I was a deputy for Unicoi County, Tennessee. I hope I'm saying that right. It's a gorgeous place. Watching that sunrise over the mountains was an almost spiritual event. I never thought I would leave it until it happened. It happened the fall of last year. Strange, because I remember it wasn't particularly crisp, beautiful autumn. The leaves had changed and the entire valley was surrounded by an enchanting sea awash with reds and hues of orange. I was at the station filling out some paperwork and drinking my evening coffee with Richards, my partner. He was a good guy, new to town as he and his family had just moved from Montgomery, and I took him under my wing. He was the kind of deputy who would stick his neck out for you. He didn't mind putting in extra hours so you could leave early. He was my best friend. Around 7, we got a call for a 1:30 code for a dead body up in the mountain in a campsite. That's not particularly surprising. Unicoi is well known for its population of bears and bobcats. It typically would happen once or twice a year that some hotshot yuppie would come in with 10 grand worth of equipment and get mauled by a predator while cooking. When we got to the campsite, I'm pretty embarrassed to say my first thought was to give whoever it was a little bit of credit. They picked an amazing spot with a view over the entire valley, but then I saw them. There wasn't one body, there was 5. 1 adult male and 1 female with 3 little girls. The man was leaned up against a tree next to their tent. His head was so slashed to hell I could see chunks. The woman didn't fare much better. She was shredded. It was sickening and the hardest part of the job, but I didn't realize this was something else until we found the girls about 100 yards away. They were stacked, well, what was left of them, neatly on a rock down the slope of the mountain. Deputy Davis, who made the call, was nowhere to be found. It was getting dark, the kind of suffocating darkness that swallows you and doesn't let you breathe. What or whoever did this was still out there. I told Richards we need to get back to the truck and call in for backup and a rescue team to look for Davis. As Richards and I sorted back up the slope, I saw it. Sitting on a branch of an old oak tree near him was a woman, or what I thought was a woman, with gray cold skin and a sinister crooked smile. Before I could even speak, she had already pounced savagely, screaming and slashing with her demon-like talons that forked unnaturally from her hand. I drew my service pistol and fired 8 times in a tight cluster in her side. She didn't even so much as pause her rampage. I think it's Richard's screams that will haunt me the most. His whimpered howls reminded me of a coyote caught in a trap, an animal who knows it's about to die. I could see the tears streaming down his face. His eyes were bloodshot and bulging. I froze. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't even process what I was seeing. Some sort of demon from hell itself who came to slaughter something unnatural. She finally stopped and turned towards me. When I became a deputy, I knew that I could die on duty, but I couldn't fathom it was to be from something like this, to avoid a fate like Richard when she was just gone. Like that, like mist in the air, leaving me alone with the corpse of my closest friend on the slope of the mountain. As I carried the mountain to the truck, all I could see was the scene in my head. It seared into my mind. When I called for backup, instead of the sheriff's office, several large black vans showed up, filled with unidentified men in suits. I was told to quit my job, move, and to never speak of what happened, and I would receive a hefty retirement package. I took the deal. I don't know why she didn't kill me. It haunts me. I can't sleep. I can't eat. All I see is her ripping apart Richards. The day before I left, I spoke with some Cherokee elders, and they told me it was something called Utilata. Sorry, I know I'm pronouncing that wrong, but I'm sorry. A demon who stalks the Appalachians, haunting her prey. Whatever it was, I'm begging whoever reads this, please don't go and visit the Appalachian Mountains. It's not worth it. Don't let her get to you too.
I had an SW pretending to be my mom and my dog within the span of 5 minutes. Because we didn't really have somewhere to stay, we decided to stay with my mom and get our credit up so we can just get a house. Being back in my childhood home has definitely brought back hauntings once again. Not that they ever really fully went away, but I feel like they weren't necessarily attached to me as much as they were to my mom or my sister. So being back in this house, we're experiencing paranormal activity again. When we first moved back, my husband was working a job that required him to be there at 4 a.m. So we would have to wake up at 3 in the morning in order to get him to work on time. Now, this is already a problem because 3 a.m. is the witching hour. After we woke up, my husband went in the bathroom and started getting ready, and my dog came up to me. He's 13 years old and definitely on his last leg, and was asking me to go outside. So I go and open the door for him, and I shut the door behind him, and I'm standing there waiting for him to come back in. I stood there with intention to let him back in when he was done because he likes to scratch at the glass when he's done going to the bathroom and he barks really loud. So I was waiting on him, and my husband walks around the corner and he's like, oh my God, why is Twitter being so annoying? So I was like, what are you talking about? Twitter is outside. I literally just put him outside and I'm standing here waiting for him to come back in. And he's like, no, he's not. He's scratching at the bathroom door and whimpering. And I was like, no, he can't possibly be doing that. I'm waiting for him to come back inside. Why does Twitter walk around the corner from the hallway where the bathroom is, and I start hyperventilating and crying? And my husband's like, what's wrong? I'm like, that's not Twitter. That's not Twitter. That's not Twitter. That's not Twitter. And I'm just like crying, like freaked out. Like you can tell something has shook me to my core because I knew that every intention in me had been standing at that door to wait on my dog to come back in. So I knew that was not my dog. I go outside and start looking around, and he is nowhere to be found. So either I let the SW outside, or the SW was the one that was in the house. But either way, the SW was present. As I'm starting to freak out and cry, I hear, Jasmine, coming from my mom's room. And I was like, okay. My husband heard it too. It definitely sounded like my mom's voice, but it was creepy. Like it came in a very ominous, like sing-songy, hey, come here type of voice, you know? So I go to the back, like mad, like ready, and my mom is knocked out. And I wake her up and I'm like, why are you calling me? What do you want? And she's like, I didn't call you. I'm obviously asleep. Now, hear me out. My mom has obviously been through these hauntings with me and the rest of my family as well. So she's just not the kind of person that would me like that. And she wouldn't wake up at 3 a.m. just to with me. And I heard my name being called, and my husband also heard it clear as day. So we knew that something was mimicking my mom, trying to draw me into her room. Now, mind you, my mom's room is probably the most haunted avenue through the entire house. Like, this is the hub for wherever these entities like to be. So I let this go, and I'm like, all right, well, can't do anything about it anyway. So I go take him to work, everything's cool, whatever, we move on. So then the next day, my husband and I once again hear my name at 3 a.m. Jasmine, coming from the back. And I'm like, dude, do I even go check this time? And he tells me like, just go check. So I go back there once again. Mom, what do you want? I'm not calling you. I have not said your name. I am clearly asleep. All right, word. So this thing is mimicking my mom's voice, trying to get me to come back there. And I don't know what it was planning on doing, but it just kept trying to draw me into that room. About a week later, the SW comes back and decides to test my husband this time. So my husband's sitting in the living room and he has Twitter out there with him. So they are just sitting out there together watching TV. My husband gets up to go to the bathroom and right in front of my mom's door, he sees Twitter. But he knows that's not Twitter because he was just in the living room with Twitter and Twitter did not get up and follow him to the bathroom. Now, the other creepiest part of this is that right in front of my mom's door, there is this darkness in the hallway that's darker than the rest of the hallway. It is so clear that right in front of this door is like something that lives there or sits there because it is just so much darker than the rest of the hallway. So he comes to me freaking out saying, okay, not that I didn't ever believe you because you know that I'm all in the spiritual stuff. I know that you're never lying about this stuff, but I just saw the SW myself and yep.
Whistle and see if anything whistles back. I don't know if the pain
No,
is.
Appalachia, you are not allowed to whistle. You will bring bad stuff.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. And as always, stay safe, stay aware, and question everything.